Welcome to Chapter 7, Equations. Equations is a follow-up of our Chapter 5, Algebra, and we can find our first topic equation reviews on page 389. Before we start with this topic, it's important that you remember terminology and words such as variables, pronumerals, expressions, terms, coefficients, and constants. And I really recommend that if you do not remember what this is, that you will pause this video, go to chapter 5 in your textbook, page 265, and just refresh your memory before you continue with this video. So in algebra, when we are talking about equations, an equation is a mathematical statement that two expressions are equal. That means that we have a left-hand side and a right-hand side. And the left-hand side equals the right-hand side. A solution to an equation is that value that makes an equation true. The process of ending a solution is called solving. If you can remember when we did algebra and we only used expressions, we could only simplify or evaluate. When we solve an equation, we find the value or the values that will make the equation equal or true. In example 1, they ask us to classify equations as true or false. They can also ask us to prove that the following equation is true or false. To do that, I would like you to follow the following steps. We'll start off by working with a left-hand side and a right-hand side. So we'll say the left-hand side equals, which means we are talking about this part of the equation. So the left-hand side equals 3 plus 8, which equals 11. The right-hand side equals 15, take 4, and that is 11. Therefore, the left-hand side equals the right-hand side, and therefore it is true. Don't take any shortcuts. Let's look at B. The left-hand side equals 7 times 3, and 7 times 3 is 21. Right-hand side equals 20 plus 5, that is 25. Therefore, the left-hand side does not equal the right-hand side, which makes this equation false. The last example, we have an x. They say, prove that this equation is true if x equals 10. Only for this condition. Because we don't know what x is, this might be true for other values. They want to show or want us to see if x equals 10. We're going to start with the left-hand side, equals, and I'm going to use brackets whenever I have to do substitution. So in the place of x, I'm going to use a bracket. So it's going to be x plus 20, and in this case x is 10. 10 plus 20 equals 30. The right-hand side equals 3 times x. Where there's an x, I'm going to put a bracket, and in the place of the bracket, they say x equals 10. 3 times 10 is 30. Therefore, it is true for x equals 10. It might seem like a long step and an extra step to use brackets. However, you'll see as these equations becomes harder and more complex, it just simplifies everything if you use brackets correctly. You will see that I left out example 2 of your textbook, and the reason is I don't want you to learn bad habits by guessing answers like they do in your textbook, so we will do it properly in future topics. One of the great advantages of algebra is that it helps us to solve everyday problems with using maths. So let's look at example 3, where we're going to write equations from descriptions. The number k is doubled. So if I double something, it means that I multiply it by 2. Then 3 is added. So I add 3, and the result is, therefore this equals a result of 52. Number B. Akira works N hours, so we start off with N. Earning $12 per hour, the total she earned was $156. If she worked 1 hour, she got $12. If she worked 2 hours, she earned 2 times 12, 3 times 12 for 3 hours, etc. So it seems like N is multiplied by how many hours she works, and this will give us a total of $156. We can rewrite this in a more conventional way, saying 12N equals 156. You can also see that in this equation, we will not use the dollar sign as it's been assigned here. We just leave that dollar sign out when it comes to this. And then when we answer the question, we will have an answer with the dollar sign included. I would like you now to go to exercise 7a and do the following questions. Please remember to mark your work once you're done, and then be ready for class. Thank you.